Welcome to the Mesoscale podcast. It's your host, AL.
And C.W. Sanders.
Whoa.
Wow.
I hope everybody's having a great day today.
I am.
I am too. Announcement.
Are you tired of being tired? Have you been sick of all the same old shitty energy drinks? Well, do I have a treat for you. Right now on Dubby Energy, you can use code MESO10 for 10% off your next purchase. In this economy, we need all the help we can get. That is dubbyenergy.com. Merch! Ever get sick of your same old shitty fashion choice? Lucky for you, that's all about to change. Head over to https://pod-merch.myspreadshop.com or stab the link below with your clicking mouse.
Hear ye, hear ye. Upon this day, the 2nd of August in our year 2026, A.L. Meticulous Anxiety and I have discussed a proposed writing contest. This contest will proceed from August 2nd to August 26th. Winner will be announced on August 30th. The prompt is,
Oh no, we've been scaled.
this contest is open to any and all horror types and must be submitted by August 26th. The rules. Submitted by, of course, August 26th. Author must be subscribed to the podcast anywhere they listen. Author must use the submission flare when posting to our Reddit. Author must cast their vote on a different story. And you must comment under this post on our Reddit that you've submitted a story. Now for the best part. The winner, first place, will earn a Mesoscale t-shirt, which will be autographed. Their story shall be read, and the story of their choice, their own or someone else's, will be on their own episode. They will receive the coveted Top Scaler Award, and, of course, receive mad props in the community. Second place will receive a Mesoscale hat, also autographed. Their story will be put in a future episode, and they will receive the coveted second place award. Third place will receive Mesoscale pins, also autographed, and the coveted third place award. Good luck to those who all enter. We look forward to reading your stories.
With that note,
Subtract it.
we're going to kind of just hit into all these stories today because we got a good lineup. I'm excited for it.
It's like the bullpen in like the 1920s. I don't know baseball.
I was going to say, I don't
Babe
even...
Ruth. When did Babe Ruth play?
I have no idea.
When?
Are you looking this up?
Yeah. When did Babe
Fact check.
Ruth play baseball? Oh, that's close. Yeah, 1914 through 1935. So yeah, I was right.
Is it really?
Yeah,
that
buddy.
long ago? Wow.
Well, old fucking bastard.
I know. All right. Well, would you like to introduce the author today of the first story?
Yeah, so we're going to be reading a story. It's called Airhead by C.K.J.M. C.K.J.M.
That was good. Thank you.
You gotta add violins and like cellos and shit to that.
Oh,
That's what
I was
going
thinking
for.
about drums.
No, I was going for like a sick the fuck is it called when you're rising to a conflict?
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. C.K.J.M., I reached out to them and I asked, hey, would you like a shout out? And really, they were like, well, I'm pretty private, which I don't blame them.
Privacy.
But he did say that he also goes by, or they also go by Boots,
Botas.
if that's easier to say than CKJM.
Botas.
But CKJM is also his artist name, which, did you see the picture of the Airhead story?
Yes.
It looks so good.
No, I like his art. It's very pulpy. It feels very right.
I loved it. So if you guys haven't had a chance to go look at that, after you guys listen to his story, their story, you should go and look at his page, because their page is full of artwork and I think it looks so cool and would love to see some more artwork from him. So anyways, I'm excited for that. Also, they did want me to let you guys know this story was a little bit of a super low effort story, but it kept their brains busy. So
I'll be the judge of that.
Like, they wanted me to let them know. Let everybody know.
I'll be the judge of that.
I'm excited to read it, though, because just by the artwork, I'm really interested. So I'm excited to see.
All right.
All right.
Shall we kick into it?
I think we shall. Oh.
Before we get too far into it.
Before we do, we got really cool mail by L. Wallace, which we read, we did a shout out a few episodes ago for L. Wallace, and she sent us one of her books. She also signed it for us, so I was really happy because I aspire to be one of those who has a bookshelf full of signed artwork and books by you guys. So if you guys are interested in sending me some, can you please let me know, because I would like a full bookshelf of them. But thank you so much, Elle Wallace, because you just made my day.
Yeah, check her out. She's got a lot of work, it looks like, and she's looks like she's traditionally published as well. If you get the chance,
well,
like her work,
go
buy it.
Yeah, go look for her work, because it's all in like Amazon, and I believe there's like other ways you can get her books too. But I do know on Amazon that's like one of the best ways to get it. And you should, because it is so cool. And it's literally right up my alley. Now, when we were filming this, we haven't read the book yet, just because we just barely opened it. But Elle Wallace, if you're listening, thank you so much. And we will be reading it because it's right up my alley. And I will let you know and update you guys all once I read it. All right. Well, let's get right into this story by Boots. So I'm going to use Boots because I think that's awesome.
Yeah, botas.
Boots. Le botas.
Las botas.
Is it los or le?
Los.
Los?
LOS. That's
LOS?
for multiple
yeah, that
of
is
something.
true.
It's like in French, it's LES. Laissez-faire.
Yeah, see, I was thinking French.
I said that that's the wrong word altogether, but it's
that's fine.
It's all right.
All right, Boots. Here we go. Airhead.
Botas.
Oh wait, you gotta do your intro.
I already did.
No, I know that, but you always say Airhead by CKJM, and then I start reading.
Oh, well, it looks like you already did it.
No, but I would like you to, because you have a better voice.
No, that's sweet of you to say.
I know.
Airhead by CKJM.
It was a closed casket funeral on account of the fact that the deceased, on account of the circumstances, it's more civil to say it that way. If I believed every rumor I'd heard whispered inside the dreary walls of the White Oak Funeral Home, I'd personally be responsible for, or privy to, no less than 2 conspiracy cover-ups, 1 werewolf incident, 1 spontaneous combustion, and more fatal trysts? Trysts? Define trysts. More fatal trysts than I care to keep track of. I have no idea what trysts mean. Fact check,
A
please.
secret meeting, a private date, or a rendezvous usually arranged between lovers. Aww.
Oh. So a more fatal tryst means...
like Romeo and Juliet, I would imagine.
Oh. That's not good. It doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak today.
It's like me for real.
For real? It doesn't matter that someone died. There is always someone with loose lips ready to stir controversy, truthful or not, when the dead couldn't argue back. I may not have ever known of any of the deceased, but it kept me sane to take it all with a grain of salt. It felt cruel to talk behind the back of a dead person, and the rumors never served me. Well, best let sleeping dogs lie, I always told myself. Usually, gossip of the dead was the behavior of old women, often friends by the vaguest definition. However, I was surprised to catch the group of children hiding in the closet bickering this time.
That's not true, Lucy.
The roughly 10-year-old boy sneered. Kids always lost all composure when they were passionate about something. It was his shrill voice and fierce justice that alerted me to their hiding spot, so as I quietly slipped between the squeaky doors to check the refreshments of the procession.
Keep it down, Will.
His slightly older peer, Aaron, hissed.
Keep it down, Will.
His slightly older peer, Aaron, hissed.
Yes, it is.
The little girl, Lucy, argued. Your voices are not doing very good today.
Okay, alright, hold on. Let me retry. Keep it down, Will.
His slightly older peer, Aaron, hissed.
Yes, it is.
The little girl, Lucy, argued. Aaron had his hands full wrangling the two. If I had been responsible, I'd have stopped their pent-up emotions before they escalated further. But admittedly, I was curious what drama they could spin as well.
Yeah. I actually know what happened.
Aaron whispered. His hushed voice lowered the group's decibels and dripped with gossip. I could practically hear him smirking on the other side of the door as his peers held their breaths.
Miss Badles told Kevin to be quiet and to pay attention.
He started, building tension as best he could.
But he wouldn't. He just kept doodling and telling jokes. So she walked up to him, yanked his notes away, and told him, "Get your head out of the clouds, Kevin."
Aaron parroted the teacher's voice in a mocking display.
So Kevin frowned because he was mad and embarrassed, but then he scrunched up his face and his head just...
Aaron curled his finger from his mouth with a loud
Jesus
pop.
fucking Christ. What? What are you if I were the main character, what the hell are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Just pop?
How old is Aaron?
Well, slightly older than 10 years old.
So what, 12?
I'd
14?
say no, if it's slightly older, I'd say it's probably a few months.
Slightly older?
Yeah, slightly older?
I don't think it's just like a few months.
That's terrifying. The window was open and it bounced across the ceiling like a balloon. Everyone was screaming, so no one thought to grab it before it popped outside. Now it's probably at the International Space Station.
Aaron's voice had grown loud as he finished. They chewed on the tale only briefly before Will retorted, his voice cracking with disconcern.
That's dumb, Aaron.
I opened the closet door to break up their increasing panic, just in time to see Aaron still fumbling with his dress shirt pulled over his head, arms groping blindly while he moaned.
Where's my head, Will?
Will and Lucy's
Oh my
eyes
God.
were wide with fear.
This kid sucks.
I
Aaron
know.
sucks. So, okay. I'm going to add a little bit of 2 cents in here.
Okay?
This sounds very close. Okay, and I say this a lot in pretty much every fucking story we read.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's parts that always remind me of it.
Yep.
But it's very,
But he's still gonna say it.
very Jinji Ito. of him.
What?
Yeah.
I never would have guessed you said that.
Well, it reminds me more of the anime, or the anime that came out, Tales from the Macabre, where in the balloon head scene, where this guy runs out and he shoots one of the heads with a crossbow,
Mm-hmm.
and the head pops on that one side and it shoots out like a balloon,
Yeah.
and that's what it kind of reminded me of. I thought that
Ew.
was a cool visual. They do it so good in the anime.
That vision, though.
It's grody.
It is. I believe
It's very grody. Knock it off.
I blurted. The children nearly screamed.
Your friend's mom is on the other side of this wall crying her eyes out. Show some respect.
I chastised.
Kevin was weird. He wasn't my friend.
Lucy's adolescent honesty knew no concept of tact.
Can it, Lucy?
Aaron jabbed with a light elbow to his sister's shoulder.
We're sorry.
His voice flicked to a sheepish guilt, and the kids sulked as they composed themselves before returning to the room of mourners. The grieving was at its thickest by the time they had returned, and their youth left them grappling with complex feelings, bouncing turbulently between confusion and boredom, and sorrow and fear. Quickly, each held onto their parents while they joined the collective sobbing. Will seemed hit the hardest. He was sick at home the day that his friend had died. He didn't want to believe that he was gone, let alone mysteriously so. But it was over as quickly as it began. Swollen, dehydrated faces gradually left the mourning halls until only Mrs. Williams, Kevin's mother, sat quietly in front of her son's closed casket. Her husband had left 20 minutes earlier when their remaining younger child, sick with emotion, vomited all over himself. She placed a trembling hand on the casket, testing the weight of the hinged top with microscopic calculations. In truth, she knew that she could tear it open with minimal effort. She was actually testing whether or not she could bear to see her son one last time. Mrs. Williams grappled the decision, but she knew that the image was already seared into her memory. That image wouldn't change nor improve, and she hated it. With a defeated sigh, she released her grip and slowly turned to depart. The foyer doors groaned behind her with a definitive click as she transitioned to whatever process her future held. Within the next half hour, I'd placed Kevin inside the furnace where his body would be reduced to pale ash. By tomorrow, he'd be packaged in an urn, and by the next day, he'd be ready to be reunited with the glossy eyes of his broken family. Have you ever thought, would you want to be cremated or just buried in a casket? But then my thought process of, being burned, I know I'm dead, okay? I know I'm dead, but, my thought process is, okay, I'm being burned just for the ashes, and then what are you going to do with your ashes? Are you just going to keep me in a vase till you die?
That's what's crazy is I've heard people keep them, and I've heard people.
I know people create beautiful artwork with it.
Yeah, some people use them in paint and stuff, but I think because I've had some family members and stuff cremated, and it always kind of sometimes it's kind of depends on who your audience is, right?
Yeah.
How big of a group of people you have growing up. So but to do it with a kid, it would be that's hard.
I know, that's what I'm curious about, because I'm
I would want them to be buried, but if you don't got the money,
I know,
it's you just gotta throw them in a jar.
Yeah.
I mean, to say it coldly.
I don't know. I just think it's a little weird to think about
but yourself.
Cremating. Yeah, yourself being cremated and then being carried around by your family member, which again though it is not symbolic, but people I understand where people see it as more symbolic of I'm carrying around this person with me, they're always with me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, a kid, I don't know.
I would want to be cremated, and then
you want me to put you in the arroyo.
No, I'm over that one. No, if I get cremated, I want you to invite a bunch of my family over for dinner. Make
all right,
spaghetti or lasagna,
and use it as a little topper.
Yeah, sprinkle a little.
You'll definitely be there with them.
Well,
all
that way,
the time.
What a better way to kill two birds with one stone. First off, spread my ashes, because I'm going everywhere all at once. At that point,
you are.
Then traumatize my family.
But the problem is your family never leaves anywhere.
Well, then you gotta.
So I'm gonna have to do it to our friends.
No, you gotta take the molehill to the mountain. That's what that means. You gotta. Hey, I heard you guys have the cold. I made you some chicken noodle soup. And it's got bits of me in it. And then all
right, cannibal. We're not gonna.
No, it's not cannibalism. No, it's definitely.
It is. There's no way to go around that. There's no way to go around that.
Well, I like to think of it as a little bit of seasoning.
It's not.
Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, nom, nom. Within the next half hour, I'd place Kevin inside the furnace, where his body would be reduced to pale ash. By tomorrow, I already read this part. but I'm going to keep going anyways. He'd be packaged in an urn, and by the next day, he'd be ready to be reunited with the glossy eyes of his broken family. I paused, however, as the casket loomed in my peripheral. Cautiously, I approached, finding myself also testing the casket lid just as Mrs. Williams had done moments earlier. I never pried nor looked beyond what was necessary to do my job. I never let the rumors get the best of me, but the lid to the casket readily lifted this time, as if it wanted me to know. My eyes gawked and peered towards its contents. Our mortician had dressed Kevin in the same tuxedo he wore to his cousin's wedding a year prior. He had grown since he wore it last, but it fit well enough. The sleeves and the hems were just a little too short. It was his first and only formal outfit. I winced at the thought. A child's burial garments were a rough concept by themselves, but my mind and my eyes quickly moved to his neck. The crisp collar of the suit framed the blank space, where his head should have been was a clean dehiscence. What does that mean? Clean dehiscence? As if his neck and skull had simply unzipped, unleashed, and wandered away.
Definition of dehiscence: the splitting open or bursting of a structure along a natural line or seam. It most commonly refers to wound dehiscence in medicine, botanical dehiscence in plant science, and canal dehiscence in anatomy.
Interesting. My coworker had worked her magic to minimize possible odors and leaking. That's a sentence. Kevin had been evacuated of every fluid in his vessels, and a greasy paste like petroleum jelly had been applied to the gaping wound. I was grateful for the opaque salve. I feared that Kevin's neck may have been too anatomically revealing of the private, intimate passages of the child's neck. I suddenly understood why Mrs. Williams didn't want to see her son one last time. It was a grim job, but it was an honest job. I clocked out just like everyone else, with less macabre.
Macabre.
What does that mean?
It's like dark,
With less.
depressing, spooky, just that
All right.
feeling of macabre.
All right, everybody. You guys got to write stories that I know the definitions
Oh my,
of.
okay, this isn't your guys' fault. I'm going to be the first to
No,
say.
your wife is just dumb.
No, this isn't on you. And she's learning new words, so we're doing good.
Guys, did you guys know that a dolphin is a mammal,
Yeah.
but a shark's not?
All right, let's keep moving.
I didn't
moving
know
along,
that.
Moving along.
I learned that the other day. Anyways, I clocked out just like everyone else with less macabre professions. Still, my mind bubbled with possibilities about what could have happened to the headless child. That's a sentence.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was medical. He had a rare disease and his head needed such an extensive biopsy that there was nothing left to restore for the funeral. Was it infectious? Perhaps it was nefarious. A serial killer had attacked the child and beheaded him, stealing the head for his collection. Would there be others? Perhaps it was a tragic accident. A field trip with an old bus, and he stuck his head out the window at the wrong moment. Thwack! Was the head lost to the road? Now that reminds me of that one movie we watched where the brother and the girl.
Oh, Hereditary?
Hereditary. That's like one of our favorite movies, but it reminds me of that.
Yeah, Hereditary. That is... God, that one's brutal.
Yeah.
That one's not even fun. It's just depressing.
That
But
one.
it's like it's a good movie, but oh my god, like that one wipes me out every single time.
I know. Anyways, I couldn't spin on this all night. This is why I could never asked and never listened. I always tried to ignore the rumors for this very reason. I poured myself a steaming cup of herbal tea and clicked through the television channels, admiring my old dog as he slept beside my feet in the living room.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
I thought, smiling at my beloved companion Banjo. I felt my body unwind and my mind relax.
Food.
I jumped at the intrusive sounds above us. Banjo's ears and eyes perked. instantly to the ceiling.
Shh.
Our eyes followed the sound as it moved across the roof.
Boom.
Banjo stood to investigate this final sound when it fell off the roof's edge into the shrubbery beside the window. He stood in a bold stance, tail lightly wagging as he eyed the window before fearlessly bolting out of the doggy door. I protested, but like any good retriever, he brought it to me, even if I didn't want it. Kevin's missing head had fallen back to earth.
And that, my friends, was a Airhead by CKJM.
Or boots.
You're way too harsh on yourself, dude.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I actually kind of like that.
That was clean. Okay, this is what it felt to me very scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yes.
Because it's a level above Goosebumps in maturity level, but below the maturity level of works like Out of Season or Hereditary or stuff like that, where it's a lot more in depth. This felt very, just like his artwork, very pulpy, very fun, quick. I could read this in a magazine and like feel edified after not edified, but feel glad to have read it.
Yeah.
Like it was very enjoyable. I really liked it. What about you?
I really liked it. I thought this was just a fun story to have. And I feel like we don't really get a lot of like just fun short stories.
Yeah, no deeper meaning.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, hey, there it is.
Yeah, like it's just fun. I thought this was a really fun one.
I was really curious to see where it was going to wind up.
Me
Especially,
too.
like I watch the little bar sometimes to see how far I am in a story.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like, oh, we still got like ways to go in the beginning. And then like towards the end, I was like, I wonder how he's going to end this off.
Yeah. And to be honest, I didn't mind that ending.
No, the ending was great.
Like I will admit too, I thought the transition from being at the funeral to being home at night, the transition I felt like was great.
Yeah.
Like that was a very clean transition.
I really enjoyed this one.
What would you rank it?
Ooh. What would you rank it? You go first.
I'd honestly rank it probably a 5 because right now I'm just nitpicking.
I'm not even nitpicking. Like I have
like if that's what I'm saying. Like if I had anything to like nitpick about, I would be nitpicking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think this is a 5. This is a great, short, fun story. I don't see, like, it just felt very colorful. I don't know how else to put it. It's a very colorful story.
I liked it. So great job, Boots.
Yeah, great work, dude.
I loved it. And I can't wait to read all your other books. Or stories, because I know you said this one was kind of that quick day type of story, but honestly, for a quick day story, this is fantastic.
I'm curious to see where it goes from here.
That's what I would love to see.
Like if he considers this his worst work or one of his least favorites, like I'd love to see one of his best.
Same. So well done. I really enjoy it, and also I love the artwork. The artwork is sick.
Yeah, the artwork, it's so much fun, dude.
It makes your book just come to life, or your story come to life.
I agree.
So I love that. Thank you so much for letting us share that. The next one, though, that we're going to read is called The Watch by
Republic 4558.
Which Republic?
Oh, by which Republic 4558.
Yeah. Besides just shouting out your name, Which Republic 4558, that's all.
Hell
pretty private, which I was like, you know what? That's fine. That's okay. I don't mind. So I'm excited. I just kind of came across this one. So I have no idea really what it's about besides a watch.
Yeah.
So besides the title. So let's get going with it.
All right. This is The Watch.
By
which Republic 4558.
That reminds me of like the jingle for the show or the phone numbers.
That's what I was going for.
Really?
Yeah.
That worked perfectly. I loved it.
If you're in no rec, I'm not gonna sing that. We're definitely gonna get copyrighted if I sing that.
Don't. All right.
It's literally a lawyer firm.
I know. I was gonna say
I was like,
that one.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right. Start us off, C-dubs.
The Watch by Witch Republic 4558. This is you.
No, you're doing the sound effects.
Oh, yeah. And sign pound
No, I don't know what that's from.
X200B.
Ignore that part. Ignore that part.
No, don't ignore that part. That's part of the story. It's what's written. And sign pound X200B colon.
I don't know why.
Semicolon. Not a colon, semicolon.
I can't handle this sound. This horrible tick.
All right, take the watch off.
It's a curse to listen to. I go to the grocery store and all I can hear is the tick tormenting me. I go to the library and I'm still tormented. I go for a walk and I'm still tormented. I can't even sleep at night because it won't shut up. The worst part is that I know this could have been prevented. If I wouldn't have grabbed that stupid watch, I wouldn't be in this horrid situation. I only took the damn thing because it was the only thing on her body worth taking.
Oh, shit.
I also knew that she cherished it so much.
Oh, God, he knew the chick.
She always bragged about how expensive it was and how she's so lucky to have the best grandma ever. I always thought that it looked basic and was nothing special. Well, I thought that. It became apparent that it's anything but typical. My eyes looked at the source of the sound. I wish it would go away, but it won't. I've tried everything that I could. I destroyed it one night, and then I woke up and noticed that it was repaired. I tossed it into the garbage one night, and then in the morning it was in my house. I took it off several different times, but it always finds its way back onto my body. She made it seem so pleasant, but it's quite the opposite.
Okay. Cutting in. I apologize, narrator. I feel bad. He tried to take it off, but he was unsuccessful. So, all right. I just want to make that clear. Go ahead.
Feel better getting that off your chest?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I feel great.
Good. Why did she have to sleep with him?
All
right. Well.
God damn it. Okay, this one's going to be... We're going to see if this one's depressing or not.
All the men in the world, and she picked the one that belonged to me.
Hmm?
I had to eliminate her because she proved that she is of no use to my life. She is a traitor. I took the watch because I thought it would make me feel superior. I mean, who wouldn't want to giggle to themselves as they think about how they killed the person that decided to take advantage of their man? She took advantage of my partner and manipulated him into being with her. I took the watch thinking that it would be the perfect reminder of how I protected my relationship and showed respect for myself. He insists that it was consensual, but I know that he has no feelings for her.
Aww.
He's just confused because she manipulated him into thinking he wants to be with her.
God damn it. This is... okay, this is actually kind of sad.
Everyone thinks that she's on vacation. No one has figured out the truth. I would be enjoying my life if I didn't have to be burdened with this sound. I can't take it anymore. It's a constant echo of what I did haunting me. I grab an object and bash it against my ears. I then grab another object and start to do the same thing. I continue to bash objects against my ears until blood is everywhere. I rush over to the remote and turn up the volume on the TV. I can't hear anything. I start to lightly tap my fingers on the table next to me. I can't hear it. Finally, I'm deaf. I don't have to suffer. It's over. Sound can't haunt me. I can't hear anymore, but it was worth it. My life can be normal again. Tears poured out of my eyes as I throw myself on the ground in defeat. Anger and confusion start to scream into my soul. The only sound that I can hear is this stupid tick. I made myself deaf for no reason. Death can't solve it, but death will. It's the only way to stop it.
And, my friends, that was The Watch by Witch Republic 4558.
How'd you like it?
Again, this one was a banger.
For being a short story?
For literally, guys, this is 600 words. Like,
I thought that was great.
This was... man. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Let's do it.
This would make for a good episode of something like Black Mirror, if Black Mirror was more like Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would also make for a good episode.
Like as a short story
Yeah,
show kind
yeah,
of thing.
like where they turn people's short stories into
A show.
like clips and movies and stuff. It was fun, it was quick, and it was revealing. It revealed a lot in a very short amount of time, but very smoothly. It wasn't like, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, the transitions.
The transitioning was
phenomenal,
so quick and flawless, really.
Honestly, and that's the thing is, I have a hard time when it's kind of choppy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard for me, someone who's not normally used to being in the author and reading world.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to find stories that have a good transition. But these two, I'm going to say 2 books so far, or not books, sorry. 2 stories, the transitions are just phenomenal.
Yeah, and unfortunately I did find some, a couple grammatical errors, which kind of screwed with my flow a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the type where I'll sit there for a second and be like, I don't think that's right. You know,
Yeah.
where I'm stupid. And so I get hung up on stupid shit. But I think for the most part, this was kind of in its own realm. Really.
It's really.
It felt it was a vengeful story,
Mm-hmm.
but why vengeance doesn't work. It was playing into the sort of turn the other cheek sort of thing.
What grammatic stuff would you want to tell the author? Because it is a short story, right? It is a quick, fast-paced story, great transitions. If we could give the author something just small to say, hey, we just noticed this, what would you say? Is there a part in the story that you might say, hey, I love this story, but I just wanted to let you know this threw me off personally?
I would say towards the end, this is the only one that hung me up a good sum, where it says, death cannot solve, but death will. I dig the rhyme scheme, but I would say, I would have just put deafness can't solve it, but death will. It sounds very petty, but when you're trying to land that last line, that last phrasing, you want it to be as flawless as possible. Because it's like what you see those pole vaulters when they jump over that massive, I don't even know what the hell it's called, but the bar.
It looks like a big hurdle.
Yeah, where they jump
but
over
they use a stick to jump over it.
Imagine seeing them jump, do a bunch of crazy cool front flips, and then when they land, they sort of stumble a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to be more focused on they didn't stick the landing.
Instead of what they just did up in the air.
Yeah, instead of what they did up the air. It's not fair for the pole vaulter, but that's just my, normal human beings, that's just what they'll focus on.
Yeah.
So I think, in all honesty, this would be 5 out of 5 if that one word didn't hang me up as bad as it did. Yeah. But I really liked it. We had 2 banger stories so far. I cannot.
What would you rate this one on the Mesoscale?
I would do 4 out of 5. You change that last phrasing, it'll be a 5 out of 5.
I think for me, so far, it's a 5. I do understand what you mean about the phrasing, but overall, for me, it didn't take away from me. But I also understand what you mean.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and that's, like I said, it might be stupid to get hung up on, but
I also I like us to be raw about it, because I think it also opens up the author's thoughts of, oh, I didn't even see it that way, of how someone else would read it.
Everything else was clean. So, this was very fun to read.
I like that. I think that's great. Well, on to the last story of the day.
Okay.
Trigger warning. Hey, it's AL and CW popping in with a quick trigger warning. This story touches on topics including depression, suicide, the loss of loved ones, grief, sadness, and emotional pain. It also features a few tears from AL at the end. We just wanted to give y'all a heads up because the story really hits us in the feels. It's incredibly beautiful, meaningful, and one we're so grateful we had the chance to read. We truly can't wait for y'all to hear it, and we hope it touches your hearts the same way it touched ours. All right, enough from us. Now back to the story. We are going to be reading by the Republic, Beyond the Northern Edge.
Ooh.
You actually picked this one out,
Yep.
so I'm excited to see.
The Republic.
Do you have a fun little jingle? The Republic.
I think you should do this one.
Nope.
No?
I just wanted to give you an idea.
Oh, no, I want you to do this.
No, thank you.
All right, I gotta think now.
The Republic, oh lolly, oh lolly, oh
The Republic.
oh the Republic, oh Republic.
Yeah, I think that works.
Both of those?
Yeah,
We'll
both.
just mash them.
We gotta keep them combined.
Alrighty.
All right. So, author's note. Just a heads up. This story is almost 17 pages long. If you don't want to read something that dense, I don't blame you. But we do. The Republic.
But we are.
We do. Anyways, I made this story a while ago. I was hoping that some of you were here, some of you here would appreciate one of my longer stories. Thank you for all the support on some of my previous projects.
You're welcome.
Shut up. Oh my God. Well, we look forward to reading it, my friend.
Listen, the Republic. Are you French?
Yeah, are you French? That's a
My husband loves speaking French. I took French in high school, if that helps.
Love is loaded. That's loaded.
He can stand reading or speaking in French. But
according to my Duolingo score.
Do you have any, if you are French, do you have any yummy French treats that you want to send some recommendations to us? Because I would love that. I would love to know. Like, I'll go buy them. I don't know what's good. So I just like trying other countries' snacks. So.
I don't think he's French, love.
Oh.
If he is, that'd be crazy. That's a crazy poll based on just the name. I'd give you Canadian.
Are you Canadian? Do you like Smarties?
All right, dog. Yeah, you're gonna have you like Smarties? What the fuck are you talking about?
Have you ever had Smarties?
No.
They're not the things that you would crush up. In America, there's those powdered Smartie, like the chalk type of things.
Yeah, you snort it.
Yeah, no.
You snort it.
In Canada, they have Smarties that are like M&Ms, but they have like this hard shell.
Oh, like Sprees?
No, they're chocolate.
Oh.
Like M&Ms, but have a harder shell, and they're better than M&Ms. I
Gross.
personally think. They're so good. Anyways, all right, back to the story.
Back to the story.
But I would like to know where you're from. Okay, anyways, that sounds so stalkerish. Anyways, all right, you ready?
Yep, fire away.
I hope you aren't upset with my decisions, my love. Aw, cute. The Bastion? Bastion? That is my mind broke the moment we could no longer be together. All those years we spent cultivating a home, crushed by your ultimately untimely. I was about to say that's bad, that you spelt it wrong. It's not. It's me. By your untimely departure and my inability to let go of you. In desperate hope, I clung to every semblance of your presence. Our life together, although brief, yielded countless mementos, novelties, and sentimental ornaments. If I was ever to see you off, it would be with you in the dress I weaved per your request. I hope that is one thing you can be proud of me for. Every detail held up to your very strict standards.
Those cornflowers sit upon white lattices. The threaded straps were made soft, and I took the time to embroider your initials where the hanging cloth met soft ankles. Forgive me for not looking at you, but I could not bring myself to even give you one last glance. I was the one to warn you of my cowardice and timid nature, but you didn't care. Watching your box be lowered into the earth felt like looking into the void, that persistent but faint feeling to jump in with you.
Was I not reading it correctly?
No, there's a colon, so I was like, I'm going to read this.
Oh.
So there's no dialogue in the story, so I'm
you
just going to...
picked the story.
I know, I'm going to jump in when I want.
When you want. Apparently, you're a better reader.
Nope.
In my absence.
Mine's absence.
See, you've already got me messed up now. I was in my reading zone and now you got me mixed up.
My bad.
In my mind's absence, you were already buried beneath clumped dirt and jagged stones. I waited there with the unrealistic hope that you would crawl out and we could mend our broken life back together. Why can't you humor me? The warmth of your smile, the sight of your lovely eyes, the cheer in those welcomed embraces. I held on to all of it. I mourned you like the world had lost one of its treasured saints and heaven gained one more star. With no one to talk to, I broke down. Why? Why would you leave me with the last words that ever left your lips being, move on? How could I? Letting you go would be tantamount to forsaking you.
This is really depressing.
It is. Put me and you in this scenario, okay?
I'm not going
I'm
to
sorry,
because I don't know where
but
this
I
is going.
rejected your wishes.
I don't know where this is going.
Imagine-
That's so preemptive.
Imagine, AL, why? Why would you leave me with the last words that ever left your lips being move on?
Why? C-dubs. Why would you leave me with the last words that ever left your lips being move like Jagger? How could I?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, but I rejected your wishes. We laid together once more. You on top of your bed of dirt and I on
Jesus
the cold
Christ.
ground wrapped together in your wool blanket.
This is so sad.
Imagining your eyes, I looked longingly into those pools of ink. No matter how much I pleaded with you and begged of you, no answer ever came. Days passed and your blanket sank even more onto my side, but I corrected it by covering you in what was left of my will. I wished you would tug on the blanket like you did in life. What did you expect of me? I did not want to tarnish our time on this earth by burying you deep in my mind, nor by getting rid of shards of your existence. You said that we would brave this world together, but you were my world. And when you died, my world died as well. It took many hands to tear us apart a second time. My family wanted me to forget you, but I refused any notion of the matter. Despite what it took to separate us, I knew that your home still needed its long overdue maintenance. I'd hoped to keep the house neat and tidy, but my lengthy departure left it in a worsened state. I felt that I had failed you in more ways than one, but this forced me to become a shut-in. I locked every gate and door, closed every curtain, and extinguished the porch side lantern. There, in the dark, I lit candles to keep me company, making a great effort to clean every keepsake. You always knew how to make the house feel like home. Every mess, every clutter, and every square inch of the house is packed with character. It doesn't even feel like I lived in this house. That's how much of your soul you poured into our everyday living. My own touch was tucked away in a dark corner of the world you made. My desk was never this clean. There always was an unfinished or incomplete book I was working on. It's funny, really. In my attempt to let go of the past, as I flipped through their pages, I saw your branding at the most recent entry. A lipstick stained where I placed my initials.
Oh, love, where are you now that I can't pretend I'm stronger than I really am? I will cherish this, even against the advisement that I shouldn't.
The first night was one filled with an overwhelming feeling of loneliness. Overhead loomed the memories of our time together. You're a great choreographer, whereas I was a novice author. How our paths managed to cross is a mystery that still perplexes me to this day. I was down on my luck after my first book failed to fly off the shelves, a sense of defeat that had me questioning my capabilities. Your theater was open to the public for the low price of 25 cents, a price I was willing to dish out since I had no future prospects of making a living. My seat was still a disappointment. For a beam stool in my line of sight, still I looked past it onto the brightly illuminated stage. Every performance was forgettable, clumsy as they were. The dancers still garnered applause. I was ready to conclude my purchase was a complete waste and that I'd been having sleep for dinner. That's when a fair lady of decent height, dark, lengthy hair, and lively complexion stepped onto the platform. There, on the empty stage, you performed a graceful recital, all while others dozed off. I was fixated on your pirouette,
It's puree.
and how you seemed to glide through the air like water.
Something like that.
You were a treasure to have been, my great future to have witnessed. After the theater closed, I nervously waited your departure. My hands were clammy and my posture was pure. Finally, you emerged from the fold and I approached, where I showered you in praise. A beautiful muse, fluttered and timid, I made my adoration known and asked for your affection. You left without answering, but a small part of me had the lingering assumption that you obliged me. Quietly as you were, my timidness never allowed me to speak for you. Our decision to move to the dense forest was one that came after my most recent book sold decently, just enough to afford a good bit of land. The plot was an isolated clearing deep within the forest. Our luck was plentiful, as it bordered near a cliff to the north, a pond to our south, and an infinite view of the sunrise to our east. You can imagine my surprise when a 2-story loft was already established upon this neck of the woods. I wasted no time in stealing credit for this when you asked me if I had prior knowledge of it. Truth be told, the house was unknown to everyone, even the land developers that sold me the plot. Poor thing. It was my despise the weathered look. Inside, the elements had worked their way into every wall and floorboard. This towering obstacle didn't seem to faze you, because after standing and analyzing the house, you got straight to work, taking note of everything that needed refurbishing. I was thankful that our combined income was enough to cover the materials needed for the project. Horse-drawn carriages brought mountains of boards, panels, and components to the foot of our remote abode. We worked countless hours to rebuild the beauty of this lost gem, and you added every bit of your character into its vastness. I never thought I would find myself coming around to the color burgundy. I had been a strong fan of navy blue up until this point. The house really was a statement piece because our fireplace was emerald green. The rooms were different shades of red. Every internal and exterior corner was highlighted by white, and the porch wrapped around the house. To add the cherry on top, our house was crowned by a weather vane, a mere variant. Truly, our house was the stuff of legends, for it brought you joy and me a slight bit of embarrassment. A barn buried deep within the clutches of dense forest, our first night spent within a walled house and beside a roaring chimney was victorious. It was pleasant to seat myself by the green tiled mantel instead of wavering on through smoke in my eyes. I was thankful we would never have to spend another agonizing minute out of the dusty, uncomfortable ground. It was one you decided to depart from with an early rest. After you left, I stepped out into the cold night. I stared at the tree line while the moon hovered above. As it rained light over the canopy top, I sheepishly took out a small wooden pipe, remembering how you hated the smell of tobacco. This was a great opportunity to indulge in decadence. From my overcoat pocket, I grabbed my tiny pouch of dried leaves. Packing the fodder into the barrel of the cannon, I lit the fuse and smoke came bellowing out in a transparent ribbon.
I looked back out towards the canopy, but the heavy smoke from the chimney blocked my line of sight. A slender figure loomed in the background, cloaked in shadow and obscured by thick smoke. It stared back at me with piercing white eyes like two holes poked through black fabric. I stood up and attempted to confront the figure and pointed up towards the second story, right where you were sleeping.
I tried to look stern and well put together, a poor attempt to say the least. We exchanged glances that is until a sudden noise broke the eerie silence. My tobacco burned a hole through my poorly constructed pipe, and the bolt hit the hard deck with a heavy thud. Scaring me half to death, it stole my attention for less than a second, but when I looked back up, the figure was gone. I didn't know who they were, but one thing was clear. They knew where we lived, and worse yet, where we slept. I retreated inside and locked all the doors, taking the liberty of barricading the windows and doorways with boards. I didn't catch much sleep that night. Every night from that point on was spent with one eye open as a means of security. I suggested we both purchase a 38 revolvers, just to be safe. I can't quite explain it, but that night felt as if it was the last time our life was ever tame again. 2 years. 2 painfully long years. That is all it took to compromise the foundations of our small, inconsequential life.
Consequential.
Sorry, that's so hard for
It's
me to
okay.
say. Oh, death. It worked its way into our lives, but the lambs bore the full force of its strong tides. I remember our daughters, but not as they were. My mind made their characters for them. Like it was only hours ago that they cried and made loud disagreements. You never voiced your concern about raising children far from paved roads, but you didn't protest the idea of raising them wild either. Although they had been grown up wild, they certainly weren't going to be birthed wild. You and the town doctor fought the real battle. It was just your crowd of supporters. It was the last push that was the most concerning. I braced for small complaints from small lungs. It was quiet. I didn't think the doctor could have coded this devastating development with all the sweets in the world. Our daughter was gone before she was even here. Maybe that's what you started to put on a better disguise. And what did I do? I shook from the new reality, but I suppressed my melancholy beneath an emotional absent shell. I shook from the new reality, but I suppressed my melancholy beneath an emotionally absent shell. If you were good at hiding your emotions, then I was callous in their dismissal. I should have been more available. You were hurting, and all I did was contribute to your anguish. What I did next was borderline cruel. I was so selfish, so much so that I made it known to you. I wanted a family, far beyond just 2 people, for I still wanted a daughter. Like always, you did not protest. Forced was this union to the point it did not bring anything within the realm of compassion. My selfishness was impartial to your pain. We made 2 precious children, and the earth swallowed them up. I can't imagine how you felt, for I was barely managing to keep my composure. You stayed strong for a coward like me. The worst was yet to come. I promised you something from town as a means to bring some semblance happy back into our lives. I'd put an order in for a set of brass grooming instruments. I remember you looked at them, taking the time to assess their craftsmanship, gearing up to head out. I hugged you tightly. I just wanted to remind you that you were loved, that you were cherished, that you were treasured like sapphires. You're very good at hiding your emotions and disguising them as something else. You threw me a smile and caressed my cheek. You managed to trick me into a state of ease. I left, and you got to work to enact your plan. And when I returned, the rustling of the leaves and the creaking of the branches felt especially loud. Louder than usual. The atmosphere was as dense as these woods. In my heart, I knew something was wrong. I was within view of the house, and the sight didn't bring me any comfort. I signaled the mare to make haste, but it didn't make any difference. I entered a cold home, one without its owner. And when I saw you, and that's when I saw you. You, a beautiful muse, with bleeding wrists, laid in a pool of your own making. I still cannot get over how well you crafted your facade. I left thinking you were in a better state of mind than me. I returned too late and saw how you truly felt. 2 became 3, and the earth swallowed you whole. That brings us to now. Your beautiful palace is barely kept together by my incapable hands. The family has suggested I look into selling the land and bundle our house with it. I would not listen to reason. Instead, I became a recluse, boarded up with your vast hall, holding down the fort. All in frivolous attempt to keep everything in place for your return. A man can hope for the impossible. These halls are anything but still. Out of the corner of my eye, I see figures shuffling in and out of rooms. The fire keeps me company, but it too has taken a new life, as if it were trying to jump out and grab me. The outstretched hand of the flames nicked a few too many instances. I am punished for my incompetence, punished for every splinter, every nick, every cut, and every sleepless night. I am bashed for how I turned my back on you, a gem I carelessly lost, and what I did not treasure despite your every bit of compassion. Even now I hear you knocking on the walls of my skull. It sounds awful. As a grandfather clock had been jammed into my mind, the tolls are deafening.
How many times have I told you I'm sorry?
However, the tolls became wooden and the rhythm softened. I could hear now that there weren't bells tolling the hour, but the sound of a visitor. The most impossible thing would happen to me. You never liked her, despite my attempts to remind you she was only a friend. Clarice helped me to publish my book. She is and will always be a welcome friend. But she did not come as a friend. I opened the door to greet her as I would with every guest. Her intentions were not what I expected. We conversed and she gave me her condolences. It was nice to hear someone other than family and in-laws state their pity. That is when the topic shifted to something that even now I cannot fathom. Clarice asked me one simple question, but it was not to me.
What now?
It broke me. Now that I didn't have a world to live in, what would be my next course of action? How is this impossibly large world could I go on without my greatest tether? I spent a long time dwelling on the question. I didn't even notice when she placed her hand over mine. I must have scared her when mine recoiled in surprise. I couldn't deal with this. Not now. Not right now. I rushed to usher her out. However, Clarice turned to look at me before she left. There, she confessed a long, repressed infatuation aimed towards me. I didn't know what she expected, but it probably wasn't an abrupt dismissal. I really couldn't deal with it. It was too much. I leaned on the shut door with my back pressed firmly against it, waiting for the sounds of clacks to patter away in the distance. I fought back. Tears.
How could I be presented with this decision? My beloved wife had just died. Her memory was burned into my mind, her scent, her image, her presence. It wasn't something I was ready to just toss away. I am not a bachelor. I will never be a bachelor. It wasn't Clarice's fault. She didn't kill my wife or cause my woes, but my ignorant mind placed all my built-up anger upon her.
No, you can go on. The heat of my anger went away when hours passed. Perhaps this was my avenue back to normalcy. If I was ever to move on, I would have to come to terms with my new reality. Oh, love, you weren't coming back. I was too delusional to see it, too hopeful to let go of you, my one and only. I held your picture, sliding my hand to wipe away the accumulated dust. I removed you from the glass and wooden frame, making my way towards your emerald fireplace, topped with a pine mantle. The fire I built was dying, so I set you inside and threw more logs into the coal. As the fire was gaining its foothold, I sat on the hard wooden floor, caressing you with my fleeting admiration. I didn't want to do it, but I wanted to regain my independence and walk out to form a new world. The room lit up with resurgence of an embodied flame. This was it.
The next step to letting go. Time stood at a standstill. Was it truly a coincidence that happened as I neared the fire?
Holding you in my hands, I felt as though I was making a horrible mistake. It was as if burning this picture would cause irreparable damage to the kingdom you created. The empress of these lands reduced to ashes and her memory left to fade away. An end unbefitting for such a tall figure of the dense forest and the Red Keep. Please don't be upset with me. I want you to rest and for me to move on. I cast you into the flames and instantly hyperventilate. The borders of your picture closed in on themselves. The warmth of your smile was fading and a cold chill set in.
I burned my fingertips to rescue you from the rage of the flames. I pressed my palm to snuff out the embers that nearly wiped away your image, but still the damage was done. I panicked so greatly my division grew darker. I fell unconscious, drifting away into a nightmare. I walked down a long and narrow hall, lined with every memory my subconscious could muster. Behind me, a wrathful fire was erasing everything. In a desperate act, I tried to fight off the flames, but my dream state was burned badly by the uncontrollable outbreak. I did the only thing I could think of. Grabbed as many memories and ran down the hall. The fire kept pace, and it followed me in a chase. I would lose a frame every time I picked up the pace. The fire only seemed to gain speed, and the heat was burning the back of my head. I ran and ran and ran, but the flames enveloped me. I melted and the memories burned away, the floor gave way, and I fell through into the abyss. The fear and pain that covered me like a net jolted me awake. The house was as I left it. The quiet of the night sky was everywhere. That's when I gained my bearings on reality. That's when I saw you. You just stood there. There in the reflection of the mirror. Could you blame me for abandoning every sense of fear? How the dread was a fleeting moment? All I wanted was to see your beautiful face ever since you left a hole in my heart. I neared you and placed my palm on the surface of the gilded mirror. I couldn't move your long hair out of the way, but still I felt the calming of your presence. Stuck in a trance, I couldn't tell just when you plunged your hand into my chest. The wriggling of gnarled digits finally broke my fixated gaze. I looked down and saw spindly fingers digging around for my heart. Panic set in.
I couldn't control my fear, and it forced me into a sprint. My attempt to coordinate an escape led to me leaping from the top of the stairs to the first floor. A moment that felt like ages, as if I had time to think about the descent. You were fast, faster than sound, and more nimble than a cat. Every framed picture I saw you making a dash for me, reaching your claw out for me, blackened fingertips still greased by drawn blood. I hit the floor with a numbing and paralyzing impact. Out of reach, your rage filled every corridor and ushered away the silence. Glass flew through the air like falling glistening snow. I curled up into a ball, avoiding any possibility of being snatched up into the dark. Splinters, dust, and glass shards cut my skin and surrounded me. You looked far more terrifying than I could have imagined, but still I couldn't see your face. White hot rage filled your eyes, while the dark cloaked your frame. I warned you of my cowardice. He took over and covered my eyes for me. By the end of the rampage, in the reflection of the million shards, I saw you pointing outside, out toward the cliff that sat atop the northern point of your kingdom. But the coward in me made his case. It's not my fault. Everyone is always trying to make me think differently.
Do this, do that, stop moping about, move on.
When I was ready to move on, that is when you came back to me. It didn't bother you that I was hurting just standing in your house, that I kept revisiting your resting place, or when I curled up in a pool of my own blood thinking of you. I was in a petrified moment of never-ending mourning. But when I decided to leave behind the painful past, you judged me. What more can I possibly do? This house is not my own, so why would the rot and the wear and the erosion find its way deep inside of me? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not strong like for you. I'm plagued by pain and troubled by remorse. I miss you, but not like this. I may not have understood you fully. At least not now. However, I will do as you ask. I will not stay a minute longer. For your absence has left a deep pit where my heart stood. My dear Elizabeth, I am coming home. I know what must be done now. After all these pages, to truly be with you, I must cast away all attachments that keep me grounded. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know how much you loved your palace. It had to be done if I had any chance of being with you when I crossed over. You loved every minute. You loved every minute detail that made up your palace. The intricate corridors, the vast foyer, and the north side porch. I would never grant this kingdom of yours an honorable end, not even in my wildest dreams, but oil and wax will do the trick. When they lowered you into the earth's warm embrace, I crumbled into a million pieces with no hope of surviving on without you at the head of this manowar. In my hand, I hold the last tether that anchors me to the void. So I will let this flame touch saturated wood and bind me to the painful past no more. It grew and grew until the mighty face of this fort began to buckle and eventually crashed in on itself. The sound of crackling and popping filled the air of the cold night. Embers and cinders danced high above your beautiful garden, scalding hot coals burning the sweet grass you carefully cultivated. The fire burned on and on, stripping panels of their sturdy walls, shattering the stained glass and giving way for the roof to crash through every floor. At that moment, deep within the heart of the raging fire, I saw you, dancing something so beautiful I couldn't help but fall on my knees and hands. I saw you dance through the flickers of the flames while staring back at me. You slipped through the towering spirals with such agility that all would envy your grace. With such nimble agility, you navigated the flames and pranced around the ashes. When the fire began to die, you left the charred ribs of your palace for the vastness of the stars. Behind the brightness of the stars, I could see you perform something, but it was hard to make out just what that was. I focused so intently on you that I didn't notice the time when the heat had dissipated. You must have seen my attempts through my squints, because it was then that you moved onto your pale white stage upon the face of the moon. You could see clearly your pirouette as it was in life, but I saw your arms crossed near your waist, one hand wrapped around the other while you held out an invitation. It was your beckoning candle. The smell of smoke didn't agitate my weakened lungs. Rather, it was reminiscent of your scent. The aroma created a powerful urge to pursue you. I hope you've forgiven my appearance. I didn't have time to dress for you. Perhaps you'll excuse my emaciated frame and bloodless skin. Even then, your heaven-facing hand still held out for mine. My first steps into the night were heavy, but I made my way towards your welcoming presence. As I stepped forward, I tried to join you in a dance. My clumsy attempts left something to be desired, but you didn't care. You were a graceful choreographer, sorry, and I was the fool that held you down. I baltered toward the cliff that stood north of your palace. The closer I inched, I felt all of life's plagues leave me. I noticed something within you become more jubilant. You began to dance as I came closer. You were dancing, and it brought me much needed comfort. You were dancing, I was dancing, the stars were dancing, the remnant flames were dancing, we all were dancing. This was not a farewell, but rather the beginning to a new chapter. The world was dancing and celebrating our reunion, my lovely Elizabeth. I shed the worries and woes, the fears and doubts, and the pain that your loss had left me. At the edge, I stood there looking out towards the abyss. I glanced at your beautiful frame against the moonlight. I don't remember you being so tall before. Took one glance at the home you built. It was razed to the ground, and still it was just art. That night seemed to perpetually linger, but I would not waste another second straying from paradise. I'm coming home, out there. I'll meet you beyond the northern edge.
And that was, my friends, Beyond the Northern Edge by _Republic.
That was so depressing.
My God.
I thought this was a horror.
My
thing.
God. No, that was horrifying in a different sense.
Oh my gosh. I was not expecting
Not in
that.
a bad sense. Not in a bad sense at all. God damn. Well,
You want to share your thoughts, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Wow. We just made fun of, or not really made fun of, but we just talked about Hereditary. This is right there.
That was a heavy hitter,
It
guys.
was so well done. It reminded me a lot of some historical context and some other stories that I've read in the past. Even like the feelings that I get are very close to Hereditary or Bring Her Back. So it's the same without the gory bits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of gore. I think it was more on par with the gore was more on par with Hereditary.
Oh yeah.
Especially the deity at the end, where there's a reason why this is all happening, and that deity at the end is kind of like it's ominous. It knows about this, but the entire beginning half and like before he basically before he returned to the house, it reminded me a lot of these historical figures. King Pedro I of Portugal, when he had his wife was murdered, and he had her undug. Her name was Ines de Castro.
Oh yeah, you told me this one.
Well, no, I told you the other one I'm going to mention.
Oh.
This is a separate instance. But he had her unburied and set on the throne next to him and hunted down all of her killers.
Jeez.
It was but that one is more of a revenge story, where this one reminds me more of Joanna of Castile, also known as Joanna the Mad. And I learned recently that most of what I've read as far as Joanna the Mad goes has been speculated.
Oh, okay.
By her son-in-law in order to present her as too crazy to reign.
Okay.
So it was an attempt at her throne. But basically the story goes that she was so distraught by her husband's death, and there is truth to it.
Okay.
Like everything I'm about to tell you has been verified, but there are some things that haven't been. It's very controversial. But she had her husband dug up from the grave, and she would sleep with his body and stuff, because she was so distraught by his death that she could not continue without him. I think she was like 44 when she died.
Really?
But it's very sad. And that's what it reminds me of, is this, as human beings, like, we fall in love with these people and we have this commitment to them. And the commitment, if your loyalty is dead set on this individual, it is literally, you cannot see your life without this person. And when you're ultimately, everyone's forced with the decision, unless you're the first to go, the decision to move on or live perpetually in the state of mind in which they died, that you were put into. I mean, it is a decision that you actually physically have to make.
Yeah.
I've had friends die before, and it's the same feeling. Friends' dads die who I was super close to, where it just felt like, oh my God, like, shit.
Yeah.
This sucks. And then you ultimately, you're thrown on this boat of like sink or swim. Like, you could either choose to sit there and mope and dope around like, God damn it, like, I can't believe they're dead, that sucks, and you go to their funeral and like you let it live with you, or you pull the trigger and you hit the gas pedal out of the roundabout and you're safe. So this story brings on a lot of those feelings of like being unable to get off the sinking ship. And so you wind up drowning with the rest of the crew, because there's something to be said about it. I don't think that's something that is avoidable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because when we read horror stories, a lot of them are like avoidable as hell. Like, there's a weird noise in my kitchen.
Yeah.
My front door's in the opposite direction. I'm going to go to my kitchen and check it out, rather than just like, I'm just going to bail. Like, fuck this. I don't want to be here. And so this story presents itself with literally probably the most airtight reasoning
Mm-hmm.
that we have seen on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inevitable. You have to choose, and your decision is quite literally move on or don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. What are your thoughts?
No, to be honest, I was pretty much thinking the same thing in that sense of you will have to make a decision, or like you will be hit with some of those decisions later on. You know what I mean? Like you will. It's hard, and I don't know. I'm not trying to be sappy or like sad because this is a heavy hitter, but like me and CW, this is just a little bit of like personal stuff, but me and CW are hitting our 4 years of marriage in a month. And you know, me and CW, we definitely got married a little bit younger, but I think what really throws us off is, first off, the fact that we've been married for 4 years, which is crazy. But I think what hits us a little bit harder, and I think this story hits me and him, and I'm not speaking for you at all, but I think it does hit us a little bit harder too, because when you have a significant other or when you have a partner, you start thinking about these possibilities later on in life of what would, or honestly, not even later on in life, even now, you know. I know with CW, with some of his line of work, I've been very scared of him not being there, for being, you know, for easier terms there. And so I think this story hits us a little bit harder, and I think that's kind of why we were so quiet while reading this, because it does hit you a little bit harder when it comes to the fact of you found somebody who you never thought you were going to have, and then like what, you know, what could happen if something, you know, if something does happen, for easier terms to say. But I really I will say, not to be all sad or depressy, but I will say this story, gosh, the Republic definitely tore at my heartstrings with it. And I think that this story is a very well done story.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a phenomenal job at portraying the feelings of somebody who's lost somebody. And again, not trying not to put it, you know, in real life, but it's hard to not to do that. That it makes you kind of feel like, you know, to go and hug your loved ones a little bit more tighter some days. You know what I mean?
It's definitely,
So,
not to cut you off or
no,
anything.
go ahead.
One of the feelings, just sort of, not to make it even more depressing, but I'm not sure, have I mentioned the fire? Have we mentioned the fire?
A little bit.
Like on and off.
We might have, but just to kind of like give a little bit of background, back in 2025, so last year, we ended up having a fire. We actually lived in New Mexico. We don't no longer live there, but we lived in New Mexico, and we ended up renting an apartment, and it actually went up in flames. And our apartment was one of the apartments that ended up losing everything. We ended up losing everything besides the clothes on our back and our almost 3-year-old dog. And I know for some people, pets might not be close to heart, but for us, it was a huge thing. We got her when we first got married, or right before we got married. And so she was our kind of marriage dog. And this past year for both of us has been a lot. We ended up moving because we couldn't stay there. We both ended up having a lot of mental health situations, and we both are still striving to get better from them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a little bit of background for you guys, and then I'll let CW talk. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, you're good. And thanks for doing the background. No, and it's like when the fire was first discovered, I ran up, opened the door.
We weren't home at that time.
Yeah.
We were both coming back from work, and so our dog was at home, and he ended up running in to try and get her, but by the time we knew about the fire, it'd been too late.
Yeah, because I opened the door, like, it was crazy. It was like you're trying to push the door open, and because the vacuum that the fire creates, because it sucks out all the oxygen.
Yes.
of
If you didn't know about how fire works.
Yeah, it sucked out all the oxygen because it was an enclosed space.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I couldn't get the door open. And so I wound up, what was it? I think I pounded it with...
He ended up, because I was witnessing it, he ended up, she was in our bedroom, and our bedroom had a door. And so she ended up being behind it. And because of the pressure it built, he ended up trying to go in 3 times, and we just could not power. Like, we didn't have enough muscle because of how bad the smoke and how bad the pressure was already built. By the time we got there, he wasn't able to open the door. And then he tried 3 times and ended up passing out and ended up getting pulled out. Sorry.
Shout out my boy Eddie.
And at that moment, we almost lost him. So not only would we have lost the dog, we would have lost him as well. And I don't mean to be super sappy on this episode. We'll put a trigger warning. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's crazy too because we just hit our 1 year of the fire. And we're still to the point of learning and growing from it. But in that moment, and I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off.
No,
I don't
you're
mean
good.
to be. In that moment, you put yourself in a situation of what would you do if your significant other, your partner ended up passing away or not being there the next day. And I remember, for me at least, I'm standing on those stairs trying to say, like, we're gonna be fine, and then you kind of get traumatized with it. And by the time it happened, because it happened at like 2 p.m., by the time we ended up going to some family that night to sleep because we didn't have a home. And so I remember we're on a pull-out couch and all we could do was just lay there. And by the time we were able to get over there, it was like 8 o'clock at night. And so by the time we got there, all you wanted to do was just hug them close. And so this story definitely hits hard.
Yeah.
For us, it's especially, sorry. I don't mean to draw this out at all.
No,
but
you're good.
I think for me, it was just, I will praise the Republic because you portray the feelings so well in this story.
Well,
and it just hits.
Yeah, if I can kind of cut in.
And I'm sorry. Good.
No,
Continue.
you're good. I think just capturing the desperateness, the desperosity when you're looking at things and you're that feeling of sort of the fleeting romance of death, right? When you're actually faced with the realistic fuck this is happening kind of feel of that death brings, it drags to a point, it drags your mental sort of mindset to a point of, well, shit, like this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's this shock value of sorts. And during the fire, I remember I ran in, what was it? I think it was my 3rd time.
Mm-hmm.
And I grabbed the fire extinguisher and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking blast this bitch. And I forgot that fire isn't displaced, or if oxygen is displaced by fire extinguishers, because that's how you stop fires. If fire doesn't have oxygen, it kills itself off. And so I just sprayed the shit out of this thing. I remember seeing the flames like wicking across the wood floor in this weird ring.
Guys, this is such a surreal thing, but it did happen. Like,
yeah,
we have pictures, I swear.
It's kind of funny, but
now
like
talking about it later on.
But like you see it's like I've never seen fire look like water before, and that's the best way to describe it. It's like it felt like I was looking at a flood of fire, smoke bellowing out up into the ceiling in this thick grayish black cloud. And like I looked down the hallway, because at the very end of the hallway there's a door, and that door was leading to the bedroom, and that's where our dog was, and we knew that's where she was because she didn't run out immediately. And so when I think after that I tried to take a breath and I couldn't breathe because there was no oxygen, of course. And so like I felt like my lungs were sucked and deprived of their air. So I got to about like the entrance of the door, and that's when I boom blacked out because no oxygen. I'm suffocating. But it's such a surreal thing because it's like the concept of, first off, if the roles were reversed and AL were to pass out inside in the apartment, I wouldn't know what to do.
And we were very blessed. We had a friend there who worked there actually who
I'm
went
gonna do a
up
shout
right
out.
there with us.
I'm gonna do a shout out for Eddie, and I do it for everything. I've written in my books. I have dedications that are to him. Because quite literally, I wouldn't be here without him.
Yeah, literally.
He's an aspiring actor, and I want him to have the world. He is a good.
If you guys have the chance, go check him out.
Seriously, good-hearted guy. His name's Eddie Frias.
We'll link his stuff below.
Yeah, or Eduardo. You could type Eduardo Frias.
I call him Eddie.
Yeah, we always call him Eddie. Just a good-hearted guy, good-hearted dude, and I respect the hell out of him.
And he always puts other people first, and
it does. And I want his acting career to take off. He's been in movies like the Joaquin Phoenix and the Pedro Pascal movie.
Oh, that, yeah.
Just to sort of bring it all back, wrap it up in a neat little bow, I think the Republic story captures that feeling of the fleeting romanticification of death, and how if I were to go, everything would be solved, and if I were to go, I would be reunited with loved ones, and that feeling of sort of forgetting who you're living for and remembering who you're dying for.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, I suffer from a lot of not mental illness, I guess.
No, it is.
Is it mental illness?
Don't get into it, but yeah.
Yeah, I won't get into it. But that being said, is I struggle a lot with suicide, stuff like that, and that's definitely something that's always on my mind is who am I living for? Yeah. Keeping an active sort of tally, if that makes sense. And so I really loved this story. I think it drug me in like you wouldn't believe, and really laid all the cards out plainly on the table in the very beginning of the story, and it felt complete, but like it was, I don't know, it's one of those feelings of wow.
I know, it kind of leaves you shell-shocked of or not shell-shocked, but just, what's the word of when you can't speak?
I literally said it in my head right when you said that, and now I can't remember it. God damn it.
I'm gonna use shell-shocked, but
shell-shocked's good.
But or speechless, that's what it is.
Oh my god.
We both suck.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it leaves you speechless because it really makes you think throughout this whole story of what would you do and what I don't know. I know we're just kind of going in circles, and the Republic, I'm going to get you because you made me cry and everything. But at the same time,
you got a first crying episode. Hey.
Great job. Great job on being able to portray feelings. And I really hope none of this is real because...
Well, I'd be really concerned if he was seeing a tall, slender woman in his backyard.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
So anyways, with that being said, and with all the tears dried up, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I feel like we've kind of had 5 out of 5 stories, almost 5 out of 5 stories today.
For you, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, me, 5 out of 5. You had 4 out of 5. Or high rated stories.
We gotta rate the Republic story.
What would you like to rate it?
I think we both know. But
yeah, that's why I was saying this.
Yeah, I'm going to drop it 5 out of 5.
Okay.
We have to come out and say it. We can't just allude to it.
No, I know. 5 out of 5 for me. But I do feel like we had some really good stories today. You also got to hear me cry for the first time in our episode, so that's awkward. But just know that all of our reactions and everything are real after this one. That one's for sure. But thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys have anything that you want to add that we after reading your guys' stories, please comment and let us know.
I think we have a contender with Axe Wielder and Late Night Laundry.
And Let It Gush.
No, I don't like that story.
Yeah, we're gonna keep bringing that one up for CWs.
That one hurt. That one hurts. Oh God.
But besides that, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Also, we are doing a giveaway. So once we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube or Spotify, we are going to be sending one of our subscribers a t-shirt with one of our designs that you guys get to pick. So please subscribe. I see that we're 70 subscribers right now on YouTube, and then 20 something on Spotify.
24 on Spotify, and then we're really close.
Yeah, we're close on YouTube. So anyways, if you guys want
70 on the dot.
Told ya. So you guys should subscribe, or tell your friends and family to subscribe too.
Check out the merch store.
Check out the merch store. We already did ads for this. So I don't know why we're doing it.
I just really like the merch store. I worked hard
But with that,
you
been
scaled.
peace.
Deuces.